Hey, welcome back to a brand new video where I'm going to be talking about Sen at length for the whole of this video and discussing how every point he makes against me is either severely misconstrued or just generally bad. So, firstly, I'd like to start by mentioning the fact that me and Sen actually spoke in private, and I offered him the resolution where we could end this privately, because both of us know that if I make this video, he's gonna look like a terrible person for lying so severely, cutting context so heavily, and completely misleading his whole audience, which he said I was right for saying, but said he wanted me to make the video anyway. So, here we are. I'm going to be going over everything that happened between me and Sen, how my strike was valid, and how he's incredibly disingenuous, and I'll also get Ghost of Griever on, so that they can also explain how the strike was completely valid, because I feel like it's worth giving another voice on this channel. Also, Antunes, hey, the person that's been trying to smear me for months because I called you out for being a terrible person. Hi, keep leaving comments on videos hating me. You're a fucking loser. So, I'd like to start by watching through Sen'S first video and proving how all of his points are absolutely ignorant, wrong, and disingenuous.
I caught you being such a weaselly little snake from the get-go!
Up to this point, I was on relatively decent terms with Sen, although he did re-upload one of my videos without any consent, without any credit, and it was like 7 minutes of my video with 30 seconds of his own input.
I mean, I knew you were a furry, but I didn't know you were a reptile. That's just wild. So, Harley, you know, from our past interaction, you know that one time you false striked me because you said that you believed it infringed your rights, even though it quite literally did not? You taking advantage of how easy it is to false strike someone on YouTube doesn't make you right, it just makes you a bitch. I'm talking, if you have a problem with what Ethan Ralph does when it comes to flagging, this kid is 10 times worse, and he's only fucking 16, so he's only gonna get worse from here on out.
This is a false equivalence, and I'll explain why. So, I'm going to provide Sen's whole stream linked in the description so you can see the full context behind all the stream clips before he brings them up. But, on this claim here that he makes that my strike was unfair and that I was abusing the system and that I'm like people like Ethan Ralph, this is a complete disingenuous lie. My strike, although I got the time and length of his video wrong, which is a mistake on my part, his whole video was my content, another person's, and another person's. This is, as he refers to it, a compilation. And compilations, what do you know it, don't fall under fair use. And I'll pose you a question, why would I take down, or strike down, a video that was in my favour using my points in benefit of my opinion? Because the video was my content, without my consent, being re-uploaded to a channel with much bigger following at the time, because the dude wanted to use it for free content. I explained as much to him on stream a year ago, and he acknowledged that I had a fair point. Again, link down below if you want to watch the full stream.
So eventually we came to an understanding, a civil understanding. I don't know why Harley has this perception that he got this epic owned and is trying to paint that. I don't know why he didn't even show the context when I'm sure he has the live stream somewhere in there.
I didn't have the stream till you provided it to me, but hell yeah, I can show that clip now.
You know, you're pretty cool for a furry, Harley. HarleyTBS is his channel.
You're pretty cool for a video thief.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've been told that by many people as well. I just subbed to your channel, you piece of shit. Hopefully,
that's what everyone should do. Subscribe to HarleyTBS on YouTube.
Subscribe to my channel as well.
No,
you know, you came from Harley's.
That's too far, man. That's too far.
Fest. Let's go ahead and plug your channel in because I'm a nice person. Then we're
down to lift it. I have no drama with that. I just wanted to really it was to send a message.
So unfortunately, there it is. Yeah, call me a transphobe for pointing out that you're a fucking lying little bitch, but I just have to point out that you're a lying little bitch. And if you're gonna lie about this shit, I wonder what else you're gonna lie about, or what else you have lied about.
He uses this clip like it's an own on me and doesn't just show that I'm a respectful person that understands that he's trying to make a living on YouTube, and if I remove this strike, it will mean that he can continue uploading with no issue, and that if he's willing to privatize the video, I have no problem with removing the strike. My whole point was I don't want you using my content, so if he was happy to take it down, I'd be happy to remove the strike.
So now we got this situated. We can see we're at the 59-minute mark. So Harley's video starts at 1 minute in, right? So
yeah.
1 minute in.
So about 57, yeah, you know, give or take a few seconds.
All right, 1 minute. Let's fast forward. There you are reading a Kiwi Farms thread. GGWP. All right, we're 24 seconds in. Let's continue. 24 seconds in, right? Then we go back to Stampy for a second. We got Dancing Yoshi again.
Dancing Yoshi again.
Then we started
Back
off
to my
again at
content
35.
again.
Yeah, 35 seconds. Going a little more. Let me see if I can do maths.
But you do see what I mean, though. Most of your video is just my content.
This part is significantly longer. Like, it's not a minute. Don't get me wrong, but still, I can see that. And if you,
it is a lot of my content though, to be re-uploaded. Just
yeah. Here's something I got from
and
4chan.
if I'm honest, your credit was a bit weak. You just put my name in the description.
Oh no, yeah, I know. I was like, here are the clout chasers, and I put you, Stampy, and Grieber's name.
Me.
And I was like, lol, JK. Yeah, I know. I was lazy. All right, man. Listen, you just have to contact my manager, right? And like, we can work something out, bro.
Manager on the phone.
The manager is Vaz as of now. Vaz, you're my manager. So you just have to contact my manager, right? And we could work something out, right? But I do understand what you mean.
I could plug my YouTube channel here and get.
Yeah, you can. Harley to be continued.
HarleyTBS.
Okay, Harley, same shit. HarleyTBS. A horrible person that strikes people.
I post very funny content every day.
I will only admit to that if you lift that strike, my friend. Then
I'm down to lift it. I have no drama with that. I just wanted to really it was to send a message. Don't repost my shit.
Okay, so your message is I'm a badass that I make several hours of content while talking over Minecraft gameplay.
Yes.
And yeah, okay. Well, that's being a little smug, but at the very least you're owning up to it. Like, you saw in your comment section, you're like, I struck the video. So at the very least you manned up, right? You're not like sleuth. You're not hiding behind people.
I ain't got nothing to hide.
There you go.
I took down the video because I believe it infringed my rights.
There you go. Well, and again, you gotta remember this guy's British too, so makes a lot of sense when you think about it.
I've done my research, right, about what fair use is, and I'm 100% sure that your video does in fact violate my rights. I know that for sure. I've actually posted a video a few minutes ago. Actually, if you refresh my channel page, which is what I was trying to tell you, I've actually posted a video mentioning you, where I show the fact that I show the definition of fair use, why your video doesn't fit under it, why people like Leafy's videos fit under it, why Pokimane XQC's don't fit under it, but they're okay with it because it's a stream.
Okay, so what you're saying is commentary channels as a whole, it's kind of iffy whether or not some of the clips they use are warranted as fair use?
How fair use works, right? I'll explain it to you. So fair use comes into account when your video adds criticism, extra commentary. Wait, I'll just bring up. So, fair use, the use of content in a way that transforms it to a large amount from the original content. This could be by adding criticism, responses to the video, added detail, news reporting, or for the purpose of adding something new to the video, not reusing or re-uploading the video with bare minimal work in editing, changing, or transforming the content. So,
epic. Yours
fits under there as nothing. Your video, you didn't add criticism because there was no commentary from you.
Right, it was a meme.
Response, no commentary from you.
Yeah.
There was no added detail. You didn't add any extra info. There was no news report, and you were just showing my video. And for the purpose of adding something new to the video, you didn't really add anything new other than a meme. But it says here, not reusing or re-uploading a video with bare minimal work in editing. So, sticking a meme in is...
Gotcha. All right. Well, if you explain yourself like that, that's better than me thinking this motherfucker is just being fucking petty because I'm shitting on the furries and whatnot.
I don't care about that.
That's good.
I cannot believe I watched through his VOD and I found a clip of him actually admitting and agreeing with me that my strike was valid because it didn't fit under the definition of fair use. Yet he's still sat here now trying to defend his video saying it was fair use. Oh my fucking god. You also saw in that clip the whole of his video and how much of it was just my video, which is fucking insane that he's trying to class that as fair use. So, my strike was valid, you're full of shit. Point made.
I'm not even gonna trash you like I could. Only 3 things I'm gonna do. And the second thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna address one of your points. Actually, let's make it a duo. So 1 point, you say that I'm not addressing Kai, your flat-nosed god.
SEN'S responses to Kai are the funniest part of this whole situation. SEN made, in his recent video, 4 minutes of content, of which he addresses Kai's video for 30 seconds in the intro. He doesn't discuss any of the allegations Kai makes, and instead, he just highlights how Kai's video is 20 minutes long, as a gotcha moment where he's like, look, ha ha ha, this guy made 20 minutes of content discussing how creepy I am, but I'm not going to address the creepy things I've done because I don't want people to give me backlash for it.
Yes, because he made 2 20-minute videos on me, citing people that are doxers, liars, and photoshoppers as his source.
Firstly, nice job moving the goalpost to make it seem like the criticism was more about the people coming through with the information and less about the claims that Kai made from his experiences with you. Very well done, Sen. It's a nice way to keep your audience completely in the dark about what you actually did by ignoring all the points Kai makes about how you disrespected him, and instead making this all about, oh, well, he had sources that are bad people, which means that the rest of his points mean nothing?
Fuck, in Harley's own video about me, he advocates for deplatforming me or some shit.
This type of attitude when covering serious allegations is simply unacceptable in commentary, and most of the time highlights a content creator that does not deserve the platform they have. How did he severely twist what I said so harshly? My point was that I don't think that someone should have such a big platform if they handle it so inappropriately. I never once hear say that he should lose his platform. What the fuck is he talking about?
This kid is not well in multiple reasons, but again, I'm not going to touch on those. I'm not going to go ahead and go into the deep depths of Harley's corrupted little mind, but I will do my second point that I want to address.
Sen is turning out to be exactly like who Prisonmate Luke is. He's a disingenuous, spineless coward that will use the two-quote fallacy and try and smear someone else's name to discredit their criticism that they're providing to him, making it seem like I'm mentally unwell, which means that for some reason my points hold less ground. The things he said were completely insensitive, and I provide proof that he knowingly called a person of color a monkey. There is no acceptable reason why he should be able to hide behind, oh, this person's mentally ill, which means that their point isn't justified. What I said about you, Sen, was completely factual, and instead you're now trying to smear me as a result to make me look like a worse person because I called you out for being a trash human.
And him taking such, like, an angry tone about how I'm handling serious allegation cases or something like that.
In some of them, like his Cosmodor video, he went into that video discussing a predator allegation without doing any research at all, and without even knowing the person he was talking about or doing any research on them, simply to milk the topic for drama, which he says himself in the introduction.
He was referencing the Cosmodor thing, which is really bizarre to me, given that I just parroted the same bullshit the entire art community was parroting, including Harley. So I'm not sure if he's trying to tell me that he was just saying bullshit and that he didn't do his research, because otherwise, or maybe he didn't watch my videos. The point of the matter is this makes no fucking sense.
My point was that you made no effort to do any research on the Cosmodor situation and didn't even know who he was when starting recording your video. That shows and highlights very clearly a terrible way to cover drama. You should not cover a predator allegation by just seeing the first thing you see on Google, doing no research of your own, and then making claims like they're facts. That is the way that you severely damage someone else's reputation without doing the research. And in the case that Cosmodor somehow, by some miracle, was innocent, you would look like a massive scumbag as a result.
But also, the fact that if you just so watch this.
Sen quote tweeted me saying, "Stop lying and go figure out what identity you are today." Now, this is a clearly transphobic comment and is intended to target me as a minority in a way to mock me. Now, before anyone says that this is a joke, if you advocate for or support racist or transphobic jokes towards the minority in question in a hateful and toxic way like this, you are supporting transphobic behavior, and I like edgy humor when it discriminates towards me.
Hold it. Run that back.
Wait a minute. Go right.
I like edgy humor when it discriminates towards me.
Oh, shit! Alright!
I find it absolutely nuts how Sen doesn't comprehend the difference between edgy comedy between me and people I'm in good terms with, and in the middle of an argument with someone, discriminating against them for something they can't change. That is less than edgy comedy or joking around in a way I'm acceptable with. That's just discriminatory and disrespectful. What is he talking about here? And then the rest of his video is just a regurgitation of the same points, so I'm now going to go over to his second video, which includes a lot more slander, and literally this one is the smear campaign he describes in his first video as what I'm apparently doing. So, let's roll the tape.
So you got caught lying in 4K because you just had to keep poking the bear over and over again. How do you recover from this situation that you put yourself in? Do you come clean to your audience? Or do you ignore the part where you lied, generalize the video to only one point while ignoring everything else, and then proceed to make a video on a dead horse as a way to divert attention for how much of a snake you are?
I'll make a few points here. Firstly, he says that I generalized his whole video into one statement. Yeah, that was because I asked him a question before I made a response. I said, hey, could you provide the full stream before I continue and make a response so that people can see how much of a fucking lie you are. And then his second point is that I moved on to a dead drama, the same drama he's been milking for months, because I wanted to evade backlash. Like, I got any backlash because of him? Look at my videos. For there to be one comment from someone saying they agree with Sen. One comment that's not from a 12-year-old, maybe. But my whole video was new information on Luke. What is he talking about?
It's also worth noting that Harley, for some reason, since the making of this video, has decided to change their name. So now he's Harry instead of Malohi. But when I originally made this video, his name was still Malohi, and this is still his second account. His first account was deleted, so I'll be leaving that part in. I don't know why he wants to change his identity again. This is what I meant by figure out what identity you were. I know he took it as some sort of personal attack, but it can easily be taken as some, yes, you change identities way too often, kid. You don't know who you are. How the hell are you supposed to report on serious allegations when you can't even figure yourself out first?
Are you kidding me? This dude took a username I made as a meme mocking my actual name because of a misspelling joke I made between Nani in a Twitter thread. Seriously, and tried to use it as a way of me changing identities? What the fuck is he on about? If he took 3 seconds, he could realize that this was a joke. Just look at it. Look at my account for more than 3 seconds and tell me I was being serious with this name change. What the fuck?
So recently, on my video, it seemed to have empowered a few individuals that have had their problems with Harley. Although, as you see, Harley sends his mob after people, usually whenever he doesn't get his way, whenever he's not victimizing himself, which we'll go into in a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie, I find this point fucking hilarious for a few reasons. Mainly because the person Sen shows in this screenshot where I'm apparently becoming the victim mocked my story of being groomed and tried to pick on me for it, to which I called them out and said, imagine telling a victim how to fucking handle their own story. And then the person who made that post apologized and said they were out of line and it was a bad example and that they were wrong. Sen's whole source said that they were wrong.
Anyway, Harley recently struck another video that was making the rounds after I posted my initial video of him lying. And this video was basically a re-upload of Harley where he defended Lolly, which is hilarious given how he's trying to use the whole Lolly thing to defame me right now and slander me based off of what? Misrepresentation and no context at all.
Sen quite geniusly compares our two actions to make it seem like I was being hypocritical. The difference is, Sen was in a chat with someone enjoying and getting off to lolly pornography. However, my point was that I made a video where I shared the point that I thought that lolly pornography had contribution to decreasing pedophilia in Japan. This was a point that someone came to me and showed me the research I'd seen, which was the Anime Man's video. From it was wrong information and that my point was wrong. As such, I realized my mistake and I took it down, and I've never ever tried to hide that video from anyone. In fact, when Akumu, the person who originally posted the video, got struck down by me because they re-uploaded my content like I'd strike down any re-upload, they contacted me, we talked it all out, I explained to them why I took it down, and I agreed with them that I will remove the strike as long as they're willing to privatize my content and not re-upload my content onto their channel without adding extra content. I even told them that if they wanted to make their own video using that footage, going through it, breaking it down, and highlighting how my points were wrong, they could. I have no issue with people using my content if it's transformed. I took down their video because it was a re-upload. I've explained that to them, and in my whole thread, I explained that I did that as well. I know some people will think that it's wrong to strike down re-uploads of deleted videos. Personally, I didn't. But yeah, if you want to read my whole thread of the mistake I made, I'll show it on screen. Sen cherry picks his points very disingenuously here to make it seem like I'm silencing anyone that tries to call me out and that I'm defending lolly pornography. I never did that. I never will. I made a reason that I believed that it had some sort of legal justification. That reason was wrong, and I hadn't looked into it properly. I will never defend that content. I've never watched that content, and in no way will my point from 2 years ago that I made off of research that was wrong, no way will that ever represent me as a person. So it's disingenuous that you try to tie us together and make it seem like I did anything close to what you did. What I did was a bad take. What you did was share and receive lolly pornography.
What I think is really telling about all this is how he goes on to play victim on Twitter, trying to gain sympathy of his followers once again. And here's another thing that's going to be hilarious, I'll point out in a second. Harley says, imagine finding a poor take someone made without research years ago that they don't agree with and using it to try and ruin their life. Gross. He's talking about himself, by the way. How can we tell he's talking about himself? Because he then replies to an individual that calls him out. I'm in a weird spot. I respect yourself and the other in question, but I think copyright striking them was a bit too far after asking for a sequel. Yeah, they re-uploaded an old video of yours. You too need to get into a call and sort your shit out. FFS. And Harley replies, hit the re-upload of my content. Of course I struck it down. Just like Ethan Ralph would. Now here's the thing. I'm not poking at Ethan Ralph because I don't have a problem with him and he doesn't seem to have a problem with me, but it's still worth pointing out some of the similarities behind Ethan Ralph and HarleyTBS.
Yeah, no. Obviously, that tweet was about my situation. I explained that to anyone who asked it to me, and I made my thread afterwards going through everything. That was literally just me being so fucking disappointed that people were trying to use a clip from years ago to make it seem like I defended anything like that at all. It is so disingenuous of you to twist that narrative into that way to make it seem like I'm a way worse person than I am, and then you tried to claim that I did what Ethan Ralph did by taking it down. Taking down something that is within your copyrighted content with no added content is fair and justified.
Especially when it comes to flagging. See, recently, remember how I mentioned that Augie and Ralph had a falling out? That was because Ralph struck down a YouTube channel that re-uploaded clips of his stream. Now, previously, Ralph had allowed this to happen and allowed to go on because he made a deal with this person. However, they then had a falling out, and so Ralph was angry at them, and he had every incentive to strike down this person just to fuck with them.
Again, that's complete proof that I'm not correlated to Ethan Ralph in any way. He tried to silence someone because he had a falling out with them. I took down content that I had the copyright to take down. What the fuck is the correlation here? I never once said that you or that other person could use my content in full with or without crediting me. How dare you twist the narrative so severely to make it seem like I support deplatforming in any way or would silence people like this because I had a falling out with them. What is wrong with you? I mean, I never struck down Luke, I've never struck down any other YouTuber that's used my content in any way that transforms it, but I have taken down content that uses my content without consent and re-uploads it in full.
Now, in this case, you can make the argument that Ethan Ralph at least had a little bit of a leg to stand on, based on the fact that this person was clipping recent streams of Ralph that Ralph could be making money off of. However, when it comes to Harley, the only thing he gains to lose is credibility. He's not losing money because there's a reason why he deleted the video. He deleted the video because he was called out by the entire community and clowned on. He wasn't gonna make money out of this.
Sen completely cherry picks this again and makes it seem like I never responded to people calling it out in the past, although even in my Luke video I actually admitted to what I did with that video in the past. I've never once tried to excuse what I did or twist what I did to be any better than it was. It was a bad video I made with a bad take with no research, and as I said before, I told that person, the person that re-uploaded the content, I would be happy for them to post it again as long as they transformed it to be their own content, and they're aware of that, though I did ask them I'd prefer resolve it in private and they agreed to that. However, I have no issue with people using it and criticizing it, otherwise I'd be taking down your video as well, Sen, for including it. I have no issue with people bringing up this video. You tried to paint me as someone way worse than I am because I strike down by default any content that's full re-uploads of my content without any altering or editing to the video. That should be obvious and is a common standard and practice for most content creators.
Like, ever. And if you go back to his initial... I'm sorry, this is just too fucking funny. If you go back to his initial comment where he says, imagine finding a poor take someone made without research years ago that they don't agree with, the key word you have to look for is ruin their life. Harley is legitimately letting you know that the only reason he's incentivized to do anything about this is because he doesn't want it to affect him. He cares about his image that much that he will false flag you if you try to make him look bad.
Again, Sen is just fucking lying to his audience and cherry-picking information to make me look worse than I am. I haven't struck down any videos ever criticizing me unless they were just re-uploads of my content, and I never once in that tweet said the reason I took down the video. That tweet was just saying that I found it distasteful that people, for example, Antunes, were DMing that video to people who I know, like to get them to try and ruin my life with no reason other than because I called out Antunes in the past for drawing what I'd consider porn of me, a minor, and then not punishing people in his server that were making graphic depictions of sexual acts between me and Just Stop. This is such an incredible way to try and tie me in to a much worse person and try and twist my tweet to be something that it completely wasn't.
Now, to his credit, to the furball's credit, he hasn't struck mine down. I mean, he just didn't address the points that were blatantly made. He looked past that, and instead he sent his fan base after me. So, I'll give you credit for that, at least.
Did he genuinely just say that I sent my fan base to harass him or hate on him because I just asked him to provide the full context of the stream? Seriously?
Anyway, luckily I got it before he took it down, and if he doesn't want to be a little bitch, he won't take this down, and instead he'll explain why he consistently lies at every turn. Comment we want to look at right now is, imagine finding a poor take someone made without research. Here's a go. Okay, the keywords here that you want to look for is made without research. Okay, you ready? You ready? Here.
I get 15-year-old doesn't know what they're talking about type of shit. Some people feeling a type of way about the fact that I'm young. But I think my opinion is quite important in this because I've done a lot of the research. I've done a lot of the research. Dude, I just wanted to sound cool. It was a face cam video with no editing. Of course I didn't do research. I saw a video by the Anime Man, I don't know if it's still up, where he said that crime rates were decreasing because of lolly content, and I said, okay, if that's the case, then I guess lolly content does have its benefits despite being really gross, which you do hear me at multiple times, which Sen isn't going to show, but you can watch the full video. You know what, if I have a copy, I'll link it in the description down below. You'll hear me state it multiple times within that video, which again was a bad take. I said that this content was gross and that I didn't watch it, didn't agree with it at all, but I did say here that I'd done a lot of research. I hadn't. I'd watched one video, taken one screenshot or something, and then I'd gone, okay, that means that it's got benefits. I'll make a video saying it's not the same as CP, which is a bad video. I've acknowledged that multiple times.
Now that we got the lolly shit out of the way, there is one more lie we need to point out for Mr. To Be Continued. And that is him saying that I never gave him a link to the infamous live stream that me and him had after he falsely struck my compilation video. Now, as already stated, Harley generalized the video because he couldn't refute any of my counter arguments. He'll say otherwise, he'll make up a different excuse, but we all know that's the reality.
So I'm going to address this in two parts, because there is a point where Sen actually makes a fair point here. So, yes, I did generalize the whole video. That was because in the post you show, I claimed that I didn't have the video, which was completely true, and I specified to you in private that I didn't have a copy of the video anymore. The problem was that I said I'd never been given a copy. Now, this was on my old Twitter, before my old Twitter got suspended, that you provided me a copy, but I thought, when I thought back on the situation, that you provided me a copy of the original video, and now I didn't have a copy. I didn't know that you provided me a copy of the stream. So, you did make a fair point that I did actually have a copy of the stream, but I didn't have access to it anymore, and then when you provided me it in DMs, now I can make the points and show the evidence. So you are technically lying again by saying that I'm intentionally not responding because I want to look better, because now I've shown you a stream and I've provided the whole stream below, along with the lolly video, so now you can't run behind that claim anymore, but I did accidentally lie about you. Which I recognize, fair enough.
And an individual by Ghost of Grieber or whatever.
Wasn't fair use, because he was also using Ghost of Griever's video, which they will vouch for me, was completely out of fair use.
Now, it's funny that he wants to use them as a source because, hey, guess what? I have a screenshot of them completely contradicting any shit he might have said right now. So that's kind of funny. Let's take a look at that real quick. Oh, here she is. Here you go. Here he is, Ghost of Grieber. Wait, is this still a debate? It was absolutely not fair use. Lol. But I didn't care, personally, since I don't make a living off of YouTube. So which one is it, Grieber? Which one is it? Did you not care or did you care?
I don't think Sen actually thought enough on this to understand that what Griever said does not contradict any of the other opinions she shared. What Griever said, privately and publicly to me, was that she personally didn't care about striking down the part of her segment in the footage. However, she did endorse me taking down the footage that was mine, because she said that you were using it unfairly. As she says, it wasn't fair use, but she personally didn't care enough to take it down, because she doesn't earn money off of YouTube, so she'd have no reason to take down your part of her video.
But let me bring it back real quick for a second and give them the benefit of the doubt. They're only backing Harley up because it's Harley and because Harley is bitching about it. That's the most logical thing I see. Otherwise, Grieber's an indecisive bitch, and she's selective when she wants to apply the "yes, Harley, use my name to attack this individual" bullshit.
I'm sure if you had any actual good points, Griever would be on your side, like they were on Luke's side against me originally, before I proved Luke wrong, and then they came to my side and apologized, which I do appreciate them doing, and we had a call before this whole recording, where they basically agreed with me again, but I'm sure if you made fair points, Griever would agree with you. Griever's always been neutral, and Griever doesn't give a shit about YouTube. They have nothing to gain from backing me up. They have no reason to support me when they've quit YouTube at this point, but they support me because they understand how fucking stupid you are, and they were in your live chat at the time saying they disagreed with your strike. So again, you're cutting context to make your narrative seem a lot better than it actually is. How disingenuous of you, Sen. How disingenuous of you. But I'm sure that Griever will leave a comment here saying that they don't give a fuck about your opinion. They'll never agree with you because you're a fucking idiot that will twist anything to paint your narrative.
I didn't know meme compilations weren't transformative, Harley, especially when the content isn't all yours and you admitted it in the live stream.
I explained to you in the live stream how it didn't constitute fair use, and you said when you put it like that, basically saying, oh yeah, you have a fair point there. So I don't really know why you're trying to make it seem now like meme compilations are perfectly okay, but whatever, I'll put on screenshots and people saying that they aren't okay. I'll put up YouTube's fair use guidelines. I'll even put up the legal definition of fair use. Not a single source I could find online from any website I went through out of the 20 I looked at once said the compilations were fair use, and that to get consent to use fair use, you should contact the party that owns the footage.
Hopefully we won't have to address this furball ever again.
Well, now I know that I'm never gonna have to address Sen again. Sen doesn't want to address this furball again, and I've proven that anything Sen has claimed about me has either been severely misled or completely disingenuous to what I actually did, so I'm pretty sure that any videos Sen makes in the future trying to slander me more because he milks these videos like he did with prison mate Luke, I'm pretty sure that no one's ever going to take him at his word on those again, so now I can go to bed. Thank you for watching, peace.
Says she wanna rock with it like me. I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap with it like me. We can catch a fly. Says she wanna rock with it like me.